Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Thank you very much for joining me for today's Crafty Share. Today's Crafty Share is this beautiful Night of Navy and Whisper White greeting card. Isn't it lovely? This Night of Navy is an adorable blue colour. It's really lovely and rich, and it goes all the way through, and it's just stunning. I have created this card using two products that are not Stampin' Up. The first of those products are embossing folders. So it's two embossing folders. We are the memory keepers. And I do believe they come together like this. When I purchased them from eBay, Crafts Online, ATC Crafts, or something like that. That's usually where I go to get my things for that if Stampin' Up hasn't got them, but I've seen them and I thought, oh, I'd like to try that. So these are beautiful embossing folders. They are really worth having. These actually go on. These are quite thick, a bit like our extra textured embossing folders that we're Stampin' Up. They're quite thick. They're as thick as the cable tie one. The cable one, I should say. When you pop this through, you need to have the two tabs, these two tabs, back, and you just put your plate underneath your embossing folder with your cardstock in it and your other plate on top and pop it through the machine. You don't need these two down because it won't go through. They're thick. They're very thick. But they give you that lovely pillow effect. So if you can get hold of them, they do look absolutely gorgeous. The other thing that I have used is a Lawn Fawn Framelit that cuts out and gives a stitch look on, as you can see there, on the cardstock, and I'm using that to put my stamp on and my sentiment, and it cuts it out. It's a Lawn Fawn one. If you don't have a framelit, it doesn't matter. You can still cut out the piece of cardstock which measures 3 7/8 by 2.5. So you can cut that out and just do your stamping as normal. So I have already gone ahead and done some of the preparation, which is I've put my cardstock through the Big Shot. I've added it to my Whisper White, and I've put three dimensionals here, 2 dimensionals in the middle, a bit of separation in between, and 3 dimensionals here, just to give it that nice popped up pillow effect look, because I want to maintain that puffiness about it. So that's how I've done that. Now the next thing you will need to do is to do the stamping and the embossing, which is here. Silver is beautiful, but you will need to use your embossing buddy on your piece of cardstock, because silver and dark grab. So with your embossing buddy, you want to make sure that you're getting all of it all over and giving it a good scrub, because you can dust it off later, but you just want to make sure that it's covering all of it. Now I've used Versamark for my stamp. Oh, I didn't tell you the stamps that I was using, did I? Dear. Okay, I am using, and something hits the floor. I am using this stamp set, which is Woodwords, and I'm obviously using this flower set here that comes with it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite. I've used it before in some things, and I'll probably use it again. And then I've used my sentiment from the tabs for everything, and I'm going to be using this Celebrate. I had before Congratulations, but I'm changing it over to this Celebrate. So those are the 2 stamp sets that I have used in this creation. Okay, so I've embossed, and I have got my, just want to make sure I've got that down. I have got my Versamark. Just want to make sure I had it on there down. So I'm just going to, whoop, that little magnet is in the way. You don't want to press too hard. Before you put it down, just check where it doesn't go on the outline of your card. Oh, sorry, on the outline of your stamp. I'll just move that over there. I have got another spare one just in case. Mind you, I'm down to my last piece of Night of Navy. I didn't really have a lot of it, but I'm probably going to order some more because it's just beautiful colour, especially with the silver. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to just get some silver embossing powder. I'll just take that off for now because I want to use my sentiment in a minute. Just going to use a bit of scratch paper here to put the embossing powder on. The silver and the blue just look beautiful together. Oh, out of camera. Yep, that looks pretty good. That out of the way. I will just turn on my heat gun, and while that's heating up, I will get my little sentiment ready. And I might probably do it later, but I think I will pop it here. There we go. Oops, sorry, I was out of camera again. Okay. Just want to make sure that that is straight. There we go. Yep, that's good. Okay, now I'll just emboss this and just double check that in a minute. So, getting very warm legs here while I'm doing this. I was going to say I'll try and bring it into line, but it will warp my paper. So I'll just emboss it off camera. Won't be a second. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The way it comes up, it's so beautiful. So bright and beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to now pop it back onto my MISTI. You don't have to use the MISTI. I just use it because I'm used to it, if that makes sense. I'm thinking I'm going to pop my sentiment. I might just get my embossing buddy back again, just to go on the corner here, where my sentiment is going to go, because I want to emboss my sentiment as well. Just make sure that that is actually straight. Yep, that looks pretty good. Using Versamark. Yep, that looks good. And bringing back the embossing powder. Just move that out of the way. It's a very easy card, but it's so effective in the way that it looks. It's just beautiful. So when you emboss it again, try and emboss it away from, I'll just heat up my gun for a second again. Try and emboss it away from your already embossed design, because you don't want to double emboss. It will flatten out the embossing, if that makes sense. So you can see the little sentiment there covered in the embossing powder. So I want to just get it on the corner and get it away. I don't want to re-emboss that flower. So I'm just doing that off camera again. As quick as can be. There you go. Oops, just need a little bit more, I think. Yep. Okay, so I've got that done. Get that out of the way. I'm just going to go over this, just get rid of all that extra. And then we have just simply, because the embossing folder has done so much work for us, we're just going to put some more dimensionals on the back, or we'll put some dimensionals on the back, I should say, not more. But I do want to keep it up into, you know, like on a good height. So we're just going to pop this one there. All that silence. Very quiet. Okay. So I'm just going to use the grid marks on my paper here, just to give me an idea about where I'm going to line this card up. Okay, just to make sure it's nice and straight. And it is. Thank you. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, I have also changed the way that I have applied my little sequins here as well, because I didn't like them previously in the location that I had them. So what I did is I'm just going to put them around the actual embossed sentiment. Sorry, around the embossed flowers. I don't want them on the puffy part. Whereas on before I did put them down on the puffy part before, and I just didn't think it really looked all that good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and I've picked out of our, there we go, out of our metallic sequence assortment, I have picked out some sequins, some silver sequins, and a couple of white ones, but not many, just a few, because it's very easy to overdo it, to be honest, especially with something like this, which it looks really good. And when I took it off the actual onto the embossing folder, it just looks like too many, so you don't want to overdo it. Just a few strategically placed looks quite nice. So nice and quiet and peaceful, isn't it? And a couple over on this side. I think I'll change that white one over to a silver one before it completely dries. I think we'll stick with just the silver and the navy, because it just goes really well together. So I picked out of this sequence set all the silver ones and used those. Yeah, I'll stick to the silver because they seem to work really well. Okay, so as you can see, just a few strategically placed silver ones is more than enough to make the card look really pretty. Lovely, isn't it? So that's basically all that I have for you today, is this card, and I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. It is a lovely card. It can be used, like, you can use any sentiment on it, and it's also a really good mail card as well, like to give to a mail for a birthday card, so that's an option as well. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like and share, and I hope to catch you soon with another tutorial. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.